Okay, let's give this a shot. So we already tried these two with no luck. So out to the garage, and let's see, I think I got these for my Mac SE long ago. Obviously this one's going to be too big, but let's see if we can find one that works. Ha! First try. Do you believe? Yeah, that one will work too, but it's got more slack. And then, ooh, one's also quite nice. So with that one, and then this one is too big. All right, let's see how we do. Make sure I put these back in a better spot next time. So on the Mac SE, you need a long. Or if I recall, there's two screws under the handle. In order to open it up, you need a long one. So anyway, this is what we're going to try and use. It looks like we've got there's a couple over here in the corners as well. And the other thing that I need is a tray. We'll use that tray. All right. I'm gonna find out if these are the same length, although it's possible that they're designed not to come out all the way. Not 100% sure here. I think I'm gonna see what happens. And that's right, I did not read the manual. So there's that. So what we are doing today is, I've gotten to the point with this laptop, which has a 250 gig, I believe NVMe in it. That one was a little bit, this screw was not quite the right size. It's got a 250 gig NVMe in it, and I haven't opened this up before, but I bought it secondhand from someone at work. And then I looked up the specs, and he had opened it up. He worked on the thermals and did basically God's work to make this in a really good state, and gave me a really nice deal on it. I needed something with 6 cores, run my software-defined radio. Well, through the course of how I guess the hackery life goes, I started needing to be able to compile the Android kernel, and we can maybe talk about that another time. But while I have storage on the server, the whole Android open source tree is over 1 terabyte, and that's not something I have on here. And even then, in order to get I don't remember what I said. The kernel's not bad. I think it's only like a couple gigabytes. Like, I don't remember if it was 3 or 30. We'll fact check that for you. Anyway, but the Android itself is over 1 terabyte. And the branch that I needed to work with was like, it was at least 100 gigabytes. And so with it being 100 gigabytes, and then you have a couple other things anyway, that like for example, I'm using a virtual machine actually to do most of the compilation tasks, because you really do well to use something like an older version of Ubuntu, like in the, 14.2. So in just kind of jury rigging it up, I ended up using, these are a little bit longer, ended up using a virtual machine, using, yep, it's the built-in Vert, the KVM. I used KVM to run a virtual machine, and then I shared one of the volumes, which I made ZFS out to it via NFS, and NFS did a pretty good job, except on deletes of a lot of small files. But anyway, I had also shared a device directly in with it, but anyway, I was having to go back and forth too much. So since I was just trying to see if I could get this thing to compile consistently, and I kind of wanted, and I wanted to do it locally on the laptop, I ran out of space. So first I was using an external SSD that I had that was like 500 gigabytes. And that was okay. However, there is this issue that I ran into at least once on the second drive that I used, which was through one of the USB 3, where you drop in the hard drive. That's 3 terabytes. I'd taken it out of my drive array. Anyway, the point being that I was going through and I figured out that I needed more hard drive space. So I was thinking about buying a new NVMe drive anyway, to replace it. And like a 1 terabyte drive is really not bad. Except that the only issue I have, I don't know why this guy's being really tough. Was I wasn't sure if I wanted to deal with, just having something external or not, because, well, anyway, I'd like to be able to do this on the, I would definitely like to be able to have all the files portable, but it was not actually interrupting me too much not to have it. Well, this particular machine does not have a GPU, and as I wanted to test out using DaVinci Resolve as the video editor and not use this Mac from work, I realized I needed a GPU. And, I've always been curious. Oh, this guy's really tough. I've always been curious about the Thunderbolt and otherwise, off-board GPUs, but never really had a really great reason to get one. Not actually somebody who normally cares about GPUs much. These two are very much a different size. Let's see what I can do here. Okay, that one. Oh. Okay, well, we're starting to break loose here. Not somebody who normally cares about GPUs. Anyway, I was also building a system for my wife, and I had a spare GPU. Hey, by the way, looks great, Gary. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just taking all this in. Anyway, so I was looking at getting a GPU for this guy because you can't run DaVinci Resolve without one. And long story short, I'm looking at getting one. I put a bid on an older one that included a 1080i Ti, I think. Anyway, because this laptop does have two Thunderbolt 3 ports, and I could run an external GPU on it. So that's really slick, right? I also found out that it has two NVMe slots. And so that's exciting, and I would like to add this Samsung drive here. So let's see, if we get in here, obviously we've got got the battery. This is room for an SSD, and I don't think there's one in here. No. So I'm not planning on poking around in here too much. Yeah, so there's room for an SSD in here if I wanted to do that. Looks like we've got, so this is one NVMe, and here is the other one. Now this guy is going to go on top of the Wi-Fi chipset, which is I'm going to say is also on the PCIe Express bus. I can see the little lights or the little antennas coming out of it. Didn't bring my glasses. I can't actually see what brand chipset is. It's not super important. But anyway, yeah, this is a 256 gigabyte NVMe PCI Express. Okay, so in theory, and I'm going to be super honest, I have not actually installed an NVMe before. So I've seen it. Looks like we're going to need a little Phillips. So we'll open this up, and I'll get one of my little Phillips out. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay. All right. Well, I'm still recording, so. Let's see, I think I have this one that I like. I was taking apart the phone the other day, so here, got that little kit together. So I'll just take those, see if we've got the right one. Hopefully I don't bump the camera again. All right. Okay. And we're coming in. Okay. So. This is flathead. Not that one. This is flathead. This is the one I'm thinking of. I think that'll work just right. These are from Radio Shack. Okay, so take that. Yep. So I'm going to go all the way for the gold. I'm going to put this in and then put that back together and see if it worked. Okay. Might have not done this with, not done this before. Probably should have figured that out. Okay, well, that looks like, that seems like that's the right way to do it. Get those contacts in. Let's not have to get the tweezers out. We'll push that down. And using our superior touch skills, hopefully that screw does it have a washer? No? Okay, it made contact. And it's touching that little ground. Right, so, I mean, hopefully it doesn't get too hot sitting on the Wi-Fi. I don't actually use the Wi-Fi much on this, at least not at my desk. Okay, so I think that is installed. And this is my RAM slots. This can be upgraded actually pretty great. It's got 16 gig in it total now. Is there anything else interesting in here? I don't think so. One of the things I was kind of hoping for, I don't know, is if it had it'd be really cool if it just happened to have well, it might. Hold on. So right here it has what looks like is a SIM card slot. It's got some sort of slot there, and that is directly underneath the Wi-Fi. So I should check to see if I can put a modem, a cellular modem in here. That would be slick. Don't know what the chipset is right now, but hey, you know what? There is an indicator there that you could put a SIM in there. I'll see if I can get a picture of that later. All right, so we're going to button this guy back up for the most part. Yep. Now, at this point, probably could. Here, why don't we just see it? Obviously, what I'm going to do is just get the screws in enough so that I can test it, and then go for the gold. So these, I can tell, are not going to be super cooperative on getting aligned. All right, well, I'm going to put in the long screws first. And that will definitely keep the cover on. That one's in. We have another long dude. Pretty easy to service if you have the right, not too tight. If you have the right driver. I will say that there's been a few, particularly the low end, I guess, but there's been a few laptops I've seen that are, it's kind of like the cell phones. You can basically take it's just held on by plastic, and you just can kind of get the tabs off, pop the whole thing off, so you can open it up without any tools. All right, so anybody that's a first timer taking apart your laptop, don't go too quick. My wife has a Lenovo, one of the ones that it's like a Flex. And has had it for several years now, and slowly the camera and the camera stopped working, and then the screen stopped working, and then, if I recall, finally when she decided to bring it to me is because the screen and the keyboard had stopped working, and was able to pop it up. It just needed to be reseated. Everything needed to be reseated. And I suspect because the camera actually is the first thing that went out, and she just kind of dealt with it for a long time. I suspect that it basically wasn't good from the factory, right? But it was all purely a mechanical issue. See me struggle here. Who knows? Maybe I'll speed some of this stuff up. Save you. My inability to get those lined up. Do I have another long dude? Yep, I do. Well, obviously, I really probably should go ahead and see if this works. I'll finish with this screw. Just really like putting stuff back together. And do one more long screw. Nope, I'm gonna do them all. We're going for the gold, remember? Going for the gold. I'm gonna open it up. It's gonna boot right up. No problem. Get into the operating system, open up disks, and it's gonna be good to go. Now, what I will do though is use, because I know you were wondering which file system I'd use. Knowing which, you know, it's a very important choice. I have preferred, I haven't done it on boot yet, but I prefer to use ZFS. Even if it's a single drive, it just makes things like snapshots so much easier. And I did some work to a lot of testing last year to figure out how to do ZFS snapshots, particularly streaming my ZFS snapshots to my LTO tape library. For anybody who already knows me, they've already heard about that, but I am an LTO fan, and I've written some code and some scripts that make use of LTO 3 and 4. I've not gotten further along than that. Okay, so these last two screws are being a bit of buggers, so I am just going to make sure I don't have anything loose. And these also are being buggers. I'm going to take, this one's almost feels like it wants to, like it almost wants to tell me it's in the right spot. But surely, yeah, okay, it's threaded. Okay, so they are at an angle. That's weird. All right. Yep. Okay. That one went in. I do appreciate this HP mobile workstation. The screws, you noticed how hard it was for me to get them out. And it's because they had, well, number one, they haven't been opened before. But they had a little collar that makes it so that it's harder for them to just come out. And if you've ever worked on laptops before, or let's say inherited one, a lot of times they are missing. They're missing them. Okay, so we're gonna take this for a ride. I don't have the hippest and coolest setup at the moment, but we'll see how well. Here, maybe I can push this down a little bit better. It's booting. That's nice. Yeah, that's. Feel free to leave in the comments all of the different ways that I could film this in a better position. Yeah, you're not going to get to know that password. Oh, that's not even the right password. Okay. I don't know. I have, this screen does have kind of odd viewing angles. Yep, system problem was detected. Okay. So all I really care about is going to disks. And we can do this a couple different ways. Look at that! It's a 1 terabyte disk. They're at NVMe 1N1. All right, sounds good. Okay, so here we'll Uh-oh, now I just got to the hard part. I've got to think about what to call this. Yep. Last one I called tank. So here. So first, I'm gonna get. Okay. First, we're gonna get to root, and then if we want to just one of the reasons I just love ZFS here, and I'm just gonna do this one as one big single, and that way I can just take snapshots and stuff. But I do LS bulk. And there is a better named way to do this. I don't think it's a big deal right now. All right, so here is our first NVMe. You can see I've got my boot and the root partition. Yep. That's no, I didn't do any super geeky ways of partitioning out Unix. I just didn't need to. It's so, anyway. This is a laptop. All right, so, and then we've got our second one, which is NVMe 1N1. So in theory, I should just be able to say ZPool create. I don't remember if I have to say single and dev NVMe 1N1. I think I just say create. Yeah, okay. I did. I should trust my gut. It was already the right one. Okay, so next, that's, oh, you know what? It's called single now. So if I ls single, it's called together. Okay, so ZPool destroy single. Okay. Now we'll do ZPool create, and we'll call this first. So the obvious thing to do is just to call it tank. So, but I have this other one I'm gonna have to import that's called tank. I can just call it tank 2 for now. Tank 2. I know, it's so original. Yep. And then if I do ls tank 2, right? Okay, and then I don't have it plugged in this position, but what I would do is I'd say ZFS create tank. I'm sorry, I don't have my other hard drive plugged in right now, so I can't import it. Let's see if I can do that here in just a second. We'll just do this all one take. See if the cable's long enough. Okay. Yep. We're just going to try it out. Now, it's not going to be the fastest. I'm just going to get this done. Get it done. It's not going to be the fastest because I did ZFS mirror on 2 partitions. This is a mechanical drive connected to USB 3. So we're just going to plug her in right now. I should probably fire up OBS here. I don't even know. Nope. Was not sure what to do about that. But I'm going to do OBS. I'm going to capture the screen, start recording. And now we've got 2 cameras, I guess. Okay. LS bulk. Okay, it's that SDA one. So what I should just be able to do is ZPool import tank. You can't hear it, but I can. So I think that worked. And we go tank. And there we go. Okay, so all I should have to do, and normally I refer to the manual, which I guess we could do here, but I need to start transferring stuff over. So I would do here, if I do a Z pool, well, we're not really set up to do this yet. I really do need, if I don't do it now, I'm going to forget these screws. But it's a Z pool send is what you end up using. And anyway, so we got the hard drive installed. Super easy. Now I've got an extra terabyte. All right, I guess, leave down in the comments or whatever if you want to see how I do the ZFS stuff. But this was a success and already ran way too long. But random video.